You've made it to Chiro Hustle Live. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This episode is brought to you by Clothes for Chiro, Chiro Sushi, Dr. Barbara Eaton's 56-day chiropractic boot camp, Dr. Alok Trivedi, the Black Diamond Club, Element Mattresses, Legacy Wealth Management, Posture Screen, MedZone, Vantage Point Marketing, Movo University, Vita Chiropractic, the Universal Tractioning System, Imaging Services, Ignite Marketing, and Zingit Solutions. Let's hustle. Hey guys, Jim Chester here. The Chiro Hustle live stream sponsorship edition. I have Sean Rundle that way. I finally got it right. He is over in Laguna Hills. Is that right?
Practice in Laguna Hills. Yes. Live in Ladera Ranch.
Okay. California Dreaming here with the Clothes for Chiro member. He is a triad of Avengers that go out there and save people from destruction of their own practices.
Triad of Avengers. That's a great one. I like that. I'm going to use that one.
and you know, I think that let's just dive right in. And what is Clothes for Chiro? I know there's people out there that you're like, dude, everybody knows what we do, but I'm sure there's some people out there that just don't. So what is Clothes for Chiro and who is it for?
All right. Clothes for Chiro. Let's start off with who is it for? If you have a practice, if you're a doc in practice seeing patients, it's for you. And a lot of people ask us, well, if I run this type of practice, or if I do this type of, if I'm subluxation based just only, if I have therapies, if I'm whatever, the beautiful thing is it's for everybody. It's non-denominational, because what Clothes for Chiro is it's a day 1, day 2 intensive teaching of a masterclass of how to create value, and better yet, how to communicate the value of what it is that we do, so that you get more of your prospective patients, more of your new patients coming into your office and saying yes to not only your recommendations, but yes to your fees. And so that's really what we teach you do. But the difference between what it is that we do and a lot of the other programs out there, programs that I've seen over my 21 years in this profession, is that we implement basic sound sales principles that, Jim, just about every other industry utilizes to help sell their product or service, except for chiropractic. And that's the difference I feel that we bring to the profession, is that we implement those sales principles to help you better sell this amazing product called chiropractic.
Brilliant. I love the idea behind what you guys do. And let's talk about some success stories that you've seen come in. And I know that you weren't always the guy in front. At one point, you were the guy in the seat. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about how you've seen some success happen from turning from the guy in the seat to the guy up in front.
Yeah, that's one of the advantages that my other partner, Jennifer, and I have, is that we sat in those seats years and years ago in the very beginning. And now that we are up front teaching it alongside with Dan, we get to see it come full circle. We get to see it from both perspectives. And we saw what it did in our practice and the success that it brought us. And I think that's why, we just grabbed onto it and literally ran with it and got so efficient with it. That's why we now were invited to come up and join Dan up front and teach. But to see it now, it's funny, because I see in the faces of the people who come to our masterclass, the docs, I see in their faces, I see myself, because it's a lot of information. I mean, you are literally getting hit with a fire hose full of information. It's a roll up your sleeves and get to work. This is not your rah-rah. This is not getting you fired up or motivated. I would hope that being in this profession, you don't need that, because it is such a great profession. So you see when they sit in front of us and we just start rolling out on Friday and into the halfway through Friday, into the end of the day, you just see this glazed look on their face, and you just see that their wheels are starting to turn. They're really starting to get it now, that it's making sense. Like, okay, this is what I've been missing. This is what's going to help me propel my office to see more people, to get more of my prospective patients saying yes. So it's really cool to see it from that perspective. And then, of course, being in our private group afterwards, we get to hear all the success stories that literally hit the page the Monday and Tuesday after the masterclass. So yeah, there's no short of these success stories. I mean, you'll see tons of the testimonials up on our page. So it's pretty cool. It's very rewarding.
Yeah, and I just think that you guys really do a good job of pulling people from the bottom up. And even if they are doing decent, you get them on a better track for doing this instead of this or this. So you're actually taking people up a higher altitude for success than what they previously knew, because what you said earlier off camera is you give them digestible language that they can put actionable steps into.
Yeah. And the cool thing is we've had we've had docs in our masterclass that literally have $2 and $3 million practices. So they're not coming to implement a whole new system. We're not telling them to revamp the way they're doing things, because obviously they've been very successful. But if they can still come in and learn a couple key components to tighten things up, to take them from 2 or 3, maybe to 3 or 4 million, then it's been well worth it. But I would say most of our docs, we get a lot of the middle of the bell curve type as far as their success and where they're at in practice. But I'll tell you, the ones that we really see the biggest change in is those ones that are really struggling, and I'll be honest with you, our event isn't the cheapest, but when they see and hear from other docs what it's done for them, and they suck it up and they find a way to get into the class, seeing them and their lives transpire, that's really what this is about. Because we always talk about getting patients under chiropractic care to save their life. Yes. But just as important is getting the chiropractors into these classes to save their life, right? Because these are docs that are literally on the brink of closing their door. They're draining their savings. They're living check to check. They don't know what, if they had 10, 15, 20 new patients this month, they don't know if they're going to have half that or where they're going to get new patients next month. And even if they do come in, are they going to be able to get them under care? And so that's one of the biggest rewards that we get, is not only getting, more patients under chiropractic care by helping our docs close more people of their community, but actually saving the lives and the practices of the docs that come to us.
It's integral. It's needed. It's necessary. It's motivating. It's forward thinking. It's, giving people, they know they have a mound of dirt that needs to get shoveled. You just teach them how to do shoveling properly. It's it's a simple strategy. It just takes time. It takes effort, and it takes energy. Let's talk a little bit now about your role within the Close for Chiro group, and what do you really enjoy doing with your team?
Well, my role is, Jim, I do it all. I mean, those two, you see them here now and then, but I literally do everything with this company. So, okay, we'll share a little laugh about that now. But I'll tell you, my role is, this is you call us the triad of Avengers or something like that. Yeah. So here's the beautiful thing. The three of us really have our own little spot within the company and what we do best. And it's such a great working dynamic. Daniel is one of the most phenomenal teachers I've ever seen. And just not only do I get to see him teaching every time we do a masterclass, but I learn so much from him. And so he's a fantastic leader. Jennifer brings something that Dan and I just could not bring, that whole female element to it, her ability to see it through a different lens, the way she comes at it. She's such a great leader, but yet she has that way of just giving it such, in a sense, I don't want to say a softness, but really sells it well to, especially a lot of the female docs in our profession. They can resonate with her because she's been there, she's doing it now. And so she brings so much. And of course, she's just the glue that keeps Daniel and I out of trouble, as much as we try to, we start doing this and she just gets us back in here and shuts us down, kind of like the mom. We call her mom. So she has a big job in that. So what do I bring? I just love so much working with the docs, and I love the trainings. I love supporting the docs on the back end when we have our support page, our Facebook page, our private page. And you know what? I do my best. We have a lot of fun. We bring laughter to these events. We're really good at educating. That's one of the other things, is we're really good at teaching this material. And, I hate to, kind of pat myself on the back, but I really get that sense of people understanding it. They're able to learn it. We teach them the why behind it, not only how to do it, but why you do it. And I think that's one of the best qualities that we as a group. So it's hard for me to say, what do I do individually? I just show up and do what Dan tells me to do. And I try not to piss Jen off. And, I throw in some jokes. We have some fun, and we really just work really, really well together as a team in bringing the material to a way that is mentally digestible for docs to go not only understand it, but then go and implement it. And I love just the back end support, helping docs actually utilize the material, make sure they're using it correctly. Like you said about, we got a mound of dirt that, a lot of these docs are out there trying to reduce this mound of dirt with a rake. We're going to give them the shovel and show them how to use it properly.
Yeah, and I'm just going to pull the pin right now on a pattern interrupt. I'm going to tell anybody out there that's watching, if you guys are interested in more information from Sean and Close for Chiro, hashtag masterclass in the comments there. Please, if you want more information from the Close for Chiro team, teaching you how to get the yes with less stress and be able to incorporate better sales strategies into your day one, day two processes, and just make you a more effective communicator, giving digestible information to people. Hashtag masterclass into the comments there. If you're watching this on replay and you're watching this for the first time, hashtag masterclass replay into the comments there, so we know that you watched this after this was live. So that helps us know who's watching live, and it also helps us let us know who's interested. It also helps us let us know who watched this on replay, because I know that we get a lot of shares, we get a lot of likes, we get a lot of comments. If you guys don't want to do that and you're watching and you want to just participate, please tell me where you guys are watching from, which city and state you're watching from, so we know who's participating with us on this live, and I can say thank you for participating with us. I got Ethan Danberg, who I had on last week. Guy was on fire. He works for Chiro Business Academy, and he goes, digestible language to put actionable steps into, and he gave me a bunch of hand signals. And then Kat Sarah says, Sean Rundle in the house.
Hey, Kat.
You know, it's really cool, in my opinion, to get audience participation on these and to hear where people are watching from. And then, you know, pattern interrupting them with a hashtag comment to say, hey, I'm interested in the masterclass. Hey, I watched this on replay. So then what happens, if you guys didn't know this, the more participation we have on these lives, the more views that we actually get, because it gets boosted up in the SEO of Facebook. So please like, share, comment, and that really helps us out when we spend our time and energy giving you guys the goods on these lives.
Yeah. Awesome. Hey, can I do a quick pattern interrupt too?
Blow it up.
All right. Hey, I just want to wish my parents, Ted and Cookie, Mom and Dad, if you're watching, which you better be, or I'll make sure I'll send it to you so you watch later. I want to wish you guys a happy anniversary. Today is their 52nd year anniversary. So Mom and Dad, happy anniversary. Love you.
Congratulations. That's really an honor to be able to see people that stick around and love each other, man.
Yeah, of course. And just do it through, having to raise someone like me and my sister and my brother. So yeah, there's some awesome parents, man. They're great people.
Well, thanks for sharing that too. And let's continue California dreaming with you.
Let's go.
Let's talk a little bit more about Close for Chiro.
Yep.
And a little bit more about, how you guys understand the market share for chiropractic and how you're actually doing the actionables to change those perspectives.
Okay. All right. The one thing is, let me start by saying the reason why we see so few in the marketplace, Jim, is not because of our product or service, because we've got the best product and service. It's chiropractic, right? We know that anybody who walks through our office is going to benefit from being under chiropractic. So what we do is our action steps are teaching the docs how to communicate the value of what we do. Well, I've said this before, so they get more of their patients saying yes. But here's the deal. The biggest problem that I see, or the biggest challenge that docs have, is they have to learn how to shut up, in a sense. What I mean by that is we are so quick to project our values and what we want that patient to learn about chiropractic on day one and day two, that it's so disrespectful to the patient themselves. Now, I get it. We all want them to get the big idea. We all want to tell the story of how amazing chiropractic is going to change their life. But that's not why they're there. So what we have to do is we have to earn their trust. We have to earn the ability to get within their circle so that we can share the beautiful, the benefits of chiropractic. But first, we've got to just shut our mouth and listen to what it is that they want. Why is it that they're in my office? They're not in the office because they're looking for a whole new paradigm, right? A shift. They're not in our office because they're looking for a new belief system in health. They're not in my office because I have no problems. I just want to see what this chiropractic thing is all about. They're there for a reason. And if we don't find out what those reasons are, and it's not just because of pain, but most likely because this pain is now preventing them or keeping them from something that they want to do or need to do in life. It's affecting their life, truly. And so our job is to open our ears and listen, get them talking so that we can learn enough or as much as we can about what it is that they need. What is it that they're looking for? How can I help them versus projecting my values and beliefs of what I think that they should want or I think that they should need. That's the biggest struggle, I think. And that's the biggest problem in our day one and day, not our day one, day two, but the day one, day two in the profession, and why we have such, on average, about a 50% close rate is because we're not communicating. We're not coming from the perspective of that person in front of us. And that's what we teach you how to do in our masterclass. And so you can get those people across from you saying, you know what? They know what I want. They're listening to me. They heard me. Now you can use that. Now you can go and put together a program and get them to say yes at day two.
So important. That stuff's so important. And I know that getting people to tell their own personal stories matters, but that's over time. You know, when you're the DC and you're building rapport with your client base over time, then start, maturing your story into their lives, and they're going to appreciate you a lot more because you're actually becoming, that much more acquainted with them about who you are, why you do what you do. They don't need to hear that on the first date.
Yeah. I'm all about the philosophy. I'm all about chiropractic. I've been in this profession for 21 years. I've been a patient since I was 14. So this is all I know. And I used to do this in the past too, Jim. The patient comes in, the first thing you do is you put them in a room and show them a video. You put them in a room, you hand them a pamphlet. You put them in the room, you have them read something because the doctors could come in and ask you about what you just read. Are you kidding me? I mean, that couldn't be more ass backwards. And who else does that in healthcare? Right? I mean, I'm projecting so much and just vomiting onto them what I think that they need to hear. Don't worry. We're going to teach them about chiropractic. We're going to teach them about the subluxation. They're going to get that. But I first have to earn that right. I first have to build the rapport. I've got to earn their trust. I've got to earn their respect. And in return, respect them and protect them in a sense. So they feel like, hey, you know what? I'm in the right place.
You've made it to Chiro Hustle Live. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This episode is brought to you by Clothes for Chiro, Chiro Sushi, Dr. Barbara Eaton's 56-day chiropractic boot camp, Dr. Alok Trivedi, the Black Diamond Club, Element Mattresses, Legacy Wealth Management, Posture Screen, MedZone, Vantage Point Marketing, Movo University, Vita Chiropractic, the Universal Tractioning System, Imaging Services, Ignite Marketing, and Zingit Solutions. Let's hustle. Beautiful. It's important for people to be able to communicate, but it's also important for people to know why they're there and what services they're getting from you. And let's talk about the big boogeyman in chiropractic. It's called sales, the sales boogeyman. Let's talk about sales and how that can really, handicap an office or it can propel them.
Yeah, we're all familiar with the worst, that one 4-letter word, right? I won't say it starts with an F, right? That's like the bad 4-letter word. Well, we have another one that's competing equally with that 4-letter word, and it's the 5-letter word of sales. And I'll tell you what, the reason why it's so important for you like that part, the new 5-letter.
I do.
You can use that. Take that. The biggest problem that people have in chiropractic with sales is because of it's always been termed as something like that's dirty, right? It's wrong. It's manipulative. It's forcing their hand. Listen, yes, it can be used for that with that malintent, but that's not what we're talking about. Listen, sales means nothing more than an exchange of money for a product or service. We do it every time a patient walks into our office and gets an adjustment. There's an exchange, or an exchange has been made. There's nothing wrong with that. And like I said earlier, Jim, that we're one of the only industries that doesn't train properly on how to promote or how to create the value for our product or service. So people are saying, yes, I will pay you what you're worth without getting chiseled and having your fees reduced down to pennies. That's what sales really is. It's just getting them to see the value in what you have. So they say, sure, doc, I'll take that. I'll do your recommendations. That's your fee. I'll be willing to pay you your fee. Sales is not a bad thing. And the only people, or I would say the ones who have the biggest problem with sales are those that have never learned it. Those that have never read a book on sales. They've never understood what sales truly is. And ask any of the Fortune 500 companies how much time, energy, effort, and money they've put into training their people to become great at selling, which is just getting the public to understand what it is that they have to offer. That's all sales is. You're doing it. Guys, if you have a practice, if you're seeing people come into your office, you're in sales. Embrace it, be okay with it, and now let's learn how to become very efficient and maximize our ability to sell this product. And that's how you will get more people into your office under chiropractic care. Tell me how sales now is a bad thing. I don't get it. It's something that we all have to embrace, and we have to learn to do better, because close for chiro. Let me just touch on that. People say, oh, you shouldn't have to close them. You shouldn't have to close people into chiropractic. You shouldn't have to sell chiropractic. You know what I say? Bull poo-poo. Because listen, if chiropractic sold itself, we wouldn't be seeing 4 to 10% of the market share. That's my perspective. Oh, you don't have to sell chiropractic. It sells itself. Well, I call bullshit, because we're not seeing enough people. And those that do come into our office, across the board, we're closing them at 50%. So something needs to change. And literally, we need to learn how to better communicate what it is that we do. Closing them for chiro isn't something you do to the patient. Closing them for chiro is something you do for them. It's closed for chiro, right? And so by closing them into chiropractic, what you're doing is you're saving them from potentially going down the road, taking drugs, potentially having a surgery, and then God knows what after that. So that's really what we're doing as close for chiro, is we're getting them more of your patients to say yes.
And, I think what it really means to me is you guys are, one of these big chiropractic fancy words is called subluxation. You guys are unsubluxating the sales process for the practitioner, saving them from their own, thinking processes, which sometimes we think we're pretty damn clever.
Yeah.
We all think we're pretty damn clever. You're like, I'm Jim Chester, I'm clever over here. But, if you don't find out a good system that works for you and start maximizing that, then you're going to be a clever person that doesn't have a lot of money.
It's true. And these docs have great hearts, great hands, but we're not taught in school how to run a business. We're not taught how to set a fee schedule. We're not taught how to do a lot of things that are required to help your patients say yes. We don't have the ability just to hang our shingle, Jim. Like, not everybody has a chiropractor. Yeah, everybody's got their MD for the most part, right? So yeah, maybe they don't have to learn how to sell their product, because it's got that cultural authority. We are breaking into that now. We are setting the stage for people to be able to understand just what chiropractic is, how it can benefit them, and then helping people get more in their office. I don't know what the problem is. It's sales.
So where do you get sales training from you? You guys have a master class, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So people are wanting to learn how to become, better at communicating and better at selling and better at being the business hand, not the adjusting hand of chiropractic. Right. How do they do that?
Yeah. So here's there's obviously unlimited resources out there on sales and how to learn what sales is. But what we have done, and I believe that we've done it better than anybody that I've seen yet, is we have done all that work for you in the sense that we've learned all the sales principles, the sales strategies, the systems. And what we've done is we've taken that and then married it with chiropractic. So what we've made it chiro friendly. We've made it so that it resonates, so that when we teach our docs, we're teaching. It doesn't look like they're reading out of a sales manual. It doesn't look like they're taking a class, at Loyola on how to be a salesperson. We've done that. What we're doing is showing them how these principles apply and how to apply them in your day 1 and day 2, so that the patient is seeing the value of you and seeing you as a solution just skyrocketing, so that there's no way that they can say no. They want what you have because of the way you've been able to sell it to them.
I get it, man. I totally get it. And I think that the people are out there listening that need it, and they will watch this either live or on replay. They're going to start shaking their head, and they're going to say, wow, I should probably come out for August 10th and 11th to the masterclass. In which city?
It'll be down in Chicago, Illinois, and we're going to be right at the Aloft Hotel, right down by the airport. So it's easy in, easy out. Great places to eat. It's a great time of year. Chicago's beautiful in August. So August 10th and 11th, come out. Let us teach you how to close more of your peeps.
And you guys have supported Chiro Hustle since day one. I believe you guys were my first sponsor for this journey that we're on together. And I can't thank you guys enough for supporting. I like to say we support free speech and chiropractic, and we deliver content every day. And we're constantly putting out the most content for people to stay on tune and in tune with what we're doing in the chiropractic profession. So thank you for being one of our flagship supporters since day one.
Hey, well, you're thanking us. This was a no-brainer for us, man. All the thanks goes to you, man. You are like the hardest. You don't have an honorary degree yet, do you? You need one.
I don't.
You need an honorary degree because, I mean, honestly, dude, I don't. We just talked earlier about how many interviews you've done, and nobody is doing what you do in or for this profession. So I think collectively, if I speak on behalf of the profession, thank you, man, for what you do. Truly, it's an honor to be part of this and to be a sponsor and just to see you live every day. So I appreciate you, man.
Well, you guys, by your sponsorship funding, you guys help me keep the free speech in chiropractic and keep the people, I call it cross-pollinating, because now we're sharing so many stories and so many narratives with other people's stories that we're actually educating each other on each other's struggles, each other's wins, each other's techniques, where people went to school, why they got into the profession. And I think that a lot of times people all have this beautiful story inside of them. Nobody just asks them to tell it. And their friends might know, their family might know, their close circle might know, but all of you went to school to become doctors, and some of you are the first doctors in your family, man. And for you guys to become that doctor in the family, that's a very proud moment. And to be a doctor, I think is, one of the upper echelons of what people can do for their career. And then to hear about chiropractors actually struggling, that really blew my mind. It really blew my mind when I heard that chiropractors were failing out of practice. It really blew my mind to know that, you guys charged so hard for 7 years to get this diploma to go practice, and there's no guaranteed for a success ladder.
And these guys, I love that these docs come out of school at $200,000. I mean, when I came out, I had $74,000 in debt, and that was a lot back then. And now these docs are coming out with $200,000 and they don't know what the hell to do. They don't have a roadmap. They don't have any systems on how to do what they need to do. And that's get more patients under their care. So not only they can help their community, but they can make a good living. Chiropractors, we deliver the best healthcare product. There's nothing wrong with making money. There's nothing wrong with having a good living and doing the things you want to do. It allows you to put more money towards your values. That's what it tells. And you can provide for your family and have the life that you deserve. So it's really important that they get out and learn how to implement the systems that are going to not only their practice be successful for their patients, but their own personal lives, the success of their personal lives. And, I will quote someone who I dearly respect, Bradley Rausch. He says, there is no elevator to success. You must take the stairs. And so I always loved that. I said, yeah, doc, it's time. You got to roll up your sleeves, get to work. You put in the work, you will be successful.
Any market, any style of practice, anybody that has a pulse and a heartbeat that might be doing great, might be starting to take the backslide down. There's so many different types of scenarios that you guys have probably seen come in. You've probably seen the person right out of school to the person that's been practicing for 30 years.
And everything in between, man. The practice that's been out. Well, I just talked about the one right out of school. They don't have the skill set necessary yet. They have to learn that somewhere. And then the guy who's been out for 30 years, a lot of these docs have been just on the insurance boob for so long. And now as we see that retract, and soon it may be gone completely, they haven't had to rely on a set of skills to be able to create the value because they just leaned on the insurance. Insurance companies sent their patients in, they signed them up for care, they paid a copay, and they were good to go. Now we're starting to see a lot of docs that have been in practice for a long time, understanding the necessity, like, oh shit, I better do something now or soon because this insurance tit is going to run dry pretty soon. And if I don't learn how to sell and communicate my product or service, it's going to be hard to make the living that they were used to.
And I see a lot of chiropractors, and no offense to anybody out there watching, but I see a lot of them just kind of walking. And there's very few that learn how to run. And there's very few after that learn how to sprint. And most of them are just kind of meandering around like they're taking a stroll through the park, or, it's on their lunch break and they're just kind of walking, and there's no urgency to learn how to run. There's no urgency to learn how to sprint. And I think that if we think about it with that type of energy, that if you sprint hard, you can move faster, and then you train to sprint faster. And I think that that's the part that really what will resonate with people is when you come to the master class, you learn how to train. You learn how to implement. You learn how to build strategy. You learn how to close. You learn how to talk sales. You learn how to do the positioning. You start reading people's body language differently. You start positioning your body language differently.
Yes.
You turn yourself into the high-level communicator, so you can talk the chiropractic, and you can start getting people into your doors. What you all want to do with your Peace Corps mentality is give, love, serve. But You have to remember what Sid Williams said. You have to have the business hand and you have to have the adjusting hand. And when you have a strong business hand, you get an even stronger adjusting hand, because then you're actually taking care of more people and living to your highest life value. And I think so many people don't figure that out right away. They just want to go give, love, serve with Peace Corps brain. And they don't think about, how am I going to become a business strategist and become a business brain? And I think that that's where chiropractic goes, bam, they kind of fall over. And that's what you guys do, is you pick them up and you're like, hey, come over here, buddy. Come on over here, pal. Let me teach you some things to where you can actually start implementing and not close your doors in the next 6 weeks.
I don't know if I could say any better what you just said about what we do. That was brilliant. It's true. That is so true, man.
But I've gotten a chance to meet you guys and learn from you guys and, resonate with you guys and really come to love the processes that you guys follow. And I think that you've done so much to help so many people, even people close to me, I know have gone through what you do. And Jeff Arnell says, damn, Jim, you hit the nail on the head big time. 2 hands exactly.
Agreed.
Let's see if we can't show that comment.
There it is.
Yeah, Dr.
Well
Jeff
said, Jeff.
He's big in the DE group down there in Georgia. He's been following what I've been doing for I don't know how long yet, but he's always active. He's always commenting. He's always giving me inspiration to keep on pushing forward. So thank you, Dr. Jeff, for supporting me from the distance. Yeah. And let's just wrap on one more thing. Where am I going to see you next?
Oh, I don't know. There's this thing coming up that I've been hearing a lot of buzz about. Maybe it's just because it's in Vegas. I mean, you can put anything in Vegas and create the buzz about it. But there's this guy, Tristan, he has created this amazing event called Chiro Sushi, the Chiro Sushi Summit in Las Vegas, June 21st, 22nd, 23rd. I mean, I can't imagine you're not going to be there. You're going to be there.
I'm there repping. I'm there repping the hustle team. I'm doing my best to be a part of that family and to raise our young, prosperous.
Right. Yeah. No, and the Clothes for Chiro crew are going to be there. Dan is going to be up on stage Saturday, dropping some nuggets and giving some knowledge and just being he's his funny self. He has a great delivery. And then the 3 of us will be also doing a breakout session too for some docs, along with Sean Dill and the Black Diamond Club too. So we're going to be there. We're going to be hands-on involved. It's going to be a great time, man. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm packing up the family and I'm bringing the family, my wife and 2 kids out too. So they'll go have some fun during the day and we'll get down to business, work hard during the day, and we'll have some fun at night. Yeah,
Chiro Sushi, hashtag that for sure, Kat Sarah. We I think what Chiro Sushi did was pretty spot on. They realized that if they could bring the most influential people in the profession under one roof and create synergy with them and marry that with sales and entrepreneurs and business growth.
That's not easy to do, man. He has just worked tooth and nail to put together this event. What he has, I don't know that there's anything else like it. So, guys, get out, support him. Come out to Chiro Sushi, Vegas. What did I say? June 21st, 22nd, 23rd. It's going to be awesome.
And if you guys do commit, and you guys want to come out there, if you put Chester in for your code word, you guys are going to get 50% off of your tickets. And I mean, it's in the comments up there, but if you guys click on that link up there for Chiro Sushi Summer Camp and put Chester in when you're checking out, you'll get 50% off of your tickets.
What? How come every time I throw your name around, I get charged double? How does that work? Oh, I got to do the hashtag first, right? Is that what it is?
No, it's reputation management, man.
Love it.
I said if Sean Rundle comes around, charge him double.
Woo, yeah.
Well, I know we talked about a lot of cool stuff. We talked about the Clothes for Chiro team, who it's for, more importantly, who it's not for. And I think it's for everybody. And we also touched a little bit on what sales are and what market share is and how we can get more success with chiropractic. And I think that, talking about the next masterclass, which is happening August 10th and 11th in Chicago, Illinois at the Aloft.
Hotel right by the O'Hare Airport.
Boy. Steel trap up here, guys. Just steel trap.
Yeah, it is. You're solid.
I don't even have to call audibles on this stuff. But and then we talked about Chiro Sushi. Is there anything that we didn't talk about that you would like to discuss with our beautiful audience that participates with the Chiro Hustle live streams?
I was kind of bummed out that what you didn't mention what part of Colorado you're from. It's like there's nobody lives there, and that's what you like about it. I feel left out, Jim.
So I'm coming from Grand Junction in the Grand Valley, the western slope of Colorado, which no one lives at, and that's why I chose it.
That's awesome. I think I'm going to pack up my wife. I'm going to tell them, hey, we're moving to Grand Junction now. We're going to come infiltrate your hood.
I'd love to have you. I'd love to have you guys.
No, man, I think what you're doing is a great thing. And I thank you for having me. Again, our program helps every doc out there from, just beginning to being in practice, from those who are struggling to those who are killing it in practice and everything in between. We can help you how to do what you do even better, get more of your people under chiropractic. That's really what Close for Chiro is we're getting more of your people to say yes so that you can help them live better, healthier lives under that chiropractic model. You don't need to go out there and throw a bunch of money on getting more new patients. You just need to learn how to close more of the ones that are walking in your door already. And then once you learn to do that, then we hit the marketing button, kick it up a notch and then bring more in. And then it's just this beautiful cycle. You bring more people in, we show you how to close them up. And then you just really have the success in the business model that you deserve. And then it carries over into your personal life. So you become, just as successful outside the office with your family and your friends and the life that you want.
So let's keep on getting yes with less stress. Yes. And I just want to say, Dr. Sean, thank you so much for sharing your innate intelligence and the course of action that you have helped develop and the systems and strategies that you implement and you help chiropractors succeed with and to, have those quality of lives that they really want. And I'm just going to close out saying, you're just one story away. What is it, Sean? Keep hustling.
Keep hustling, baby. Love it.
All right, man. We'll catch you on the next one.
Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate you.
See you at Chiro Sushi.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for listening to Chiro Hustle Live. Don't forget to subscribe and check back next week to continue hustling.